Are we starting with me? Oh, we're starting with me. Holy shit. I thought we were starting with Chico GroundWrk Live. We're here. You know what I'm saying? Episode 8. You know what I'm saying? It's up, man. You know what I'm saying? My name is Josh Jordan. I'm here with my brother. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm Cheat Code.
And we're here in the home of the Zoocast. You know what I'm saying? In this beautiful space put together by our motherfucking family. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Zoods, Adrian Grody. Right now, driving the rocket ship up at the top. You know what I'm saying? You got that God microphone over there? Is that plugged in?
Not right now.
Okay, no God mic.
Is it?
Yes, it is. What's up, brother?
Jesus.
Doing well, man. Doing well. But yeah, look, if you guys haven't caught the vibes, this is GroundWrk Live, man, where we just talk a whole bunch of groundwork hustler shit, you know what I'm saying? And we get right to the nitty gritty. What you pointing at?
Nothing.
Okay.
You were looking at the camera, so I looked at the camera too.
Oh, yeah, okay. I got a little bit confused. Okay. But look, so team shit, you know, when we talked a little bit earlier, the first thing that we're going to get into is obviously yesterday we had a very successful show, and we did something that I haven't seen, at least in our area, done in the format that we did. So big shout out to the team for having our back and really perpetuating that. Big shout out to the artists for pulling up and being able to execute in the way that they needed to really provide the experience. But we did the CSSB sound check yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Basically, we allowed artists to pull up. There was 10 of them, I think, 9 of them, 9 artists on the bill, and they pulled up, they performed, and all ticket sales generated went directly to the corresponding artist. So every time someone purchased a ticket, which was donation based, so it was pay what you want, they were able to make an offer to the cell phone line and say, hey, I want to support, for example, Kuya Flip, I want to pay this amount of money, and all those ticket sales got generated to the pockets of the artist. So there was some really tight shit that happened at the showcase, you know what I'm saying, from dope ass performances to obviously being able to see artists walk away with money in their pocket, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know, Chico, you got anything to say? What you got?
No, yeah, it was a tight first event. It worked out really well. Like you said, everybody, you know, got some money in their pockets and shit like that. But yeah, I think it was a well done, very cool, all the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you kind of said everything. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's the only reason why I feel like we're going to talk about like shows in general, just because it's so fresh on the mind, and like, you know, it seems like we're just constantly trying to figure out how to flip old like processes and shit like that, just because like I feel like that was born out of you know, it's not like showcases are new.
Yeah, no, I mean, right. That's born out of the what I would call traditional. I mean, it might only be traditional to our generation, but that's born out of the, hey, go to a venue, sell tickets, and they're gonna keep, you know, $8. You know, out of the $10 ticket you sell, they're gonna keep $8, and they're gonna give you $2 a ticket,
or you're even paying them to perform.
Right, exactly. Yeah, which is the extreme one, right? But both of those. You know, and we've talked about this before, and I don't think on a GroundWrk Live, but on actual GroundWrk podcast, but both of those have value in their own ways, and if it makes sense, it makes sense, but it really is going to be down to the individual and kind of their discretion, what's going on. But, yeah, dude, I mean, I know the money was one thing, which was cool, you know what I'm saying? But and we also talked about the mindset shift, and like you said, because it was born out of this, and you know.
That is, I was going to ask you first about that, just because we talked about, like, it was obvious because people talked to us about it that they had some sort of shift or epiphany or something, but you had one yourself, so I wanted to know what that was.
Hell yeah, I wrote it a little bit in like the little bio for Soundcheck, so a couple people read that, probably not a lot, but it's up there. And basically, you know, this, I was actually just talking to you about this the other day, you know, this is not by any means a flex because this is not a lot of money, you know what I'm saying, but I'm talking about probably like $500 or $600 between even sales and Patreon over the, like, you know what I mean, the course of like the last few months.
That's fire though.
Yeah, you know, and Patreon on course to be like, you know, $600 to $700 a year right now, which, you know what I mean, is again not a lot, right? Considering a salary job at minimum wage now is going to be, you know what I mean, whatever, $25,000 a year or something like that, $30,000 a year. Yeah. So, but the idea was, you know, that opened up my mind, like you said, kind of like an epiphany almost, where it was like, okay, seeing shit like that, and maybe it's because of the business mind that's been developed over the last couple of years being a business owner as well, and having my teammates with me, but it looks like a scalable business. That's what it looks like. You know what I'm saying? It has the same characteristics as that. You know what I'm saying? You see something that starts and it's very low, and then it picks up a little bit, and it gets a little bit more, and it gets a little bit more, and then as it grows, you're also seeing exponential growth. And I think that's the big thing, is when you see, you know, that 0 to 10 run is hard, and then the 10 to 100 is not as hard as the 0 to 10 though. You know what I'm saying? The time might still be there. It still might take as much time, but the understanding of how to get in motion and how to kind of, you know, catch your stride is there. And then 100 to 1,000, you know what I'm saying, is again, you know, it's a longer jump than 1 to 10 or 10 to 100. Right now you're talking about 900, you know what I mean, more to get there. But now you're understanding of what it was like and what it feels like to be tired, what it feels like to seek balance and all that. So, you know, that's what it was. You know, I got to level 10 with that kind of shit. And, you know, I had opportunities to try to go get paid. And I saw, obviously, the good company movement where, you know, I've been super proactive in the pay what you want model. And that's why I think I have a good understanding of it, and why I forget that it maybe goes over some people's heads. But, you know, I've been going to the La Russell shows, been fucking trying to participate, whether it was in the local Sacramento scene, going out to the Bay Area and seeing that it was, you know, it's this pay what you want scale of pay the money directly to them, cut the middleman out, you know what I'm saying, send the money to the artist. They're going to put it in their pocket, and this is a scalable thing, because with 20 people in your backyard, it's one thing. With 200 people in your backyard, it's different. You know what I'm saying? Now that money, literally, it scales, right? So that now creates a livelihood. That now creates the opportunity for somebody to leave their job or to cut back 2 days a week. You know what I'm saying? Or to cut it right. And then if you do it right, you utilize that time to grow more in your craft and what it is that you're doing. So that was my epiphany, was, okay, this is working. I can slow down at my 9 to 5. I'm slowing down at my 9 to 5. I'm picking up more, you know, time with the camera. I'm picking up more fucking reps doing micro content. We're getting more into motion with fucking making the music and getting our shit slotted and getting our projects ready. You know what I'm saying? So all these different things happening at once was kind of that epiphany to be like, okay, this is working. And as always, you know what I mean, obviously we want to try to apply it to the community and these things that we've talked about with Freestyle Friday. How do we get more intentional with it? How do we really lean into this gym for artists type of situation, right? So all those things together led to, hey, let's do a show where fuck the middleman. We'll do our little fucking 400 square foot outdoor area. You know what I'm saying? We'll pay the operating cost to keep the electricity on in this motherfucking. We'll just take that L, whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? None of us are on. There's no salaried workers here, so we all are here because we want to be here. You know what I'm saying? So we don't have to pay anybody for labor. So, you know, fuck the middleman. We open up the shop. We let 9 artists come. They fucking text their homies. They say, hey, come support me. You know what I'm saying? We get to the end of the night. There's fucking $500 generated plus for these fucking artists. We distribute it to them accordingly. And again, it looks like a scalable model. This looks like something that not only is the money going to scale, but what you talked about with, you know, these artists, you know, this is rep 1. You give them 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 opportunities to do this. They might really be in motion and really, you know, I'm holding myself accountable to that too, right? I'm not speaking from a place of understanding or being there. I'm saying, hey,
because you were one of the artists.
I'm one of the artists, dude. I that was my first performance in a really long time. That was my first time performing in front of people with, you know, a set list and the DJ having my song, you know what I'm saying? So Freestyle Fridays, of course, but this much more intentional place to where people are there listening to the music that we produced and the way that we created it, you know what I'm saying? The way that we wanted it to be heard. So
Freestyle Fridays practice, and that's like,
yeah, dude. And this was like that next level, you know what I'm saying? And it still feels like practice. And I think that's what's so cool about this building and the space and the culture that's being cultivated here is, even though it's the showcase, right? For us, it still feels like home, even though somebody coming here who's never been to the space is just coming to a rap event. They're coming to an artist show. They're coming to a showcase. They're coming to a music showcase, whatever it is that they think they're coming to. But for us, we're still at home. You know what I'm saying? And for a lot of artists that were up there, I know that's not just for me because I'm an owner here. I know that's for a lot of people that are in the space. So, yeah, dude, shout out that event. And again, I know it's kind of just a segue to go into this. And so I'm going to kind of just jump a little bit to the end of what we were talking about, but it'll circle in. I think it'll make sense. But one of the biggest things that we saw yesterday was that every artist on that lineup, and obviously curated lineup, artists that we talked to over the course of the week and got them in the building. We're talking to multiple times, but they all came and really capitalized and soaked value that they could out of this space. You know what I'm saying? And they got active with the guests out there, and they got active. You know, we saw fucking
with
Ski. Yeah, we saw Ski bring the fucking merch booth and the setup and posting his QR codes up around. I mean, we really saw people come in here and do what they're supposed to do. We saw Gino climb around the fucking outside and fucking really turn everybody in that space into a fan. You know what I'm saying? So all these different things that fucking happen. We've seen Young Cash go up there. Right? I could go on and on because literally every artist had a highlightable moment.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Every single artist that went up there had a highlightable moment. So I think that, of course, we love to say that, do that in our space because that's what we're setting it up for. But that should be the mindset going into any show, going into any sort of public space to where you're representing your brand or you as an artist. And that should be anywhere. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So we can kind of just talk about that a little bit and kind of segue into just other showcases and other shows and kind of what you think about the current climate and, you know, how artists should be soaking value.
That reminded me of the other part made this one unique in the intentionally making people not have backtracks. Like it was a requirement, and not like, and it wasn't like a half-assed requirement. It wasn't like I encourage you to, or it wasn't even like a rule that somebody could maybe just kind of ignore. It was literally like, you have to come in. This showcase is for you to practice without your backtracks. That for sure, I felt like is a part of the game changer, especially in our genre of music. You know what I'm saying? Because from top to bottom, it's like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not even like, that's not even a local thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go watch like fucking Coachella live streams and shit, and Future's rapping on his fucking backtracks in the one of the biggest stages in the world. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit that shit blows my mind.
Can I read the DM that I sent to the group chat?
Yeah.
Can I read it? Here it is. 10 minutes, no backtracks. If anyone needs help getting show ready mixes, let me know. No backtracks in all caps. Beats only. I want this 10-minute performance to be the hardest 10 minutes you ever done. All of us. Not all of you. All of us. You know what I'm saying? Learn your words, perfect the delivery. Whole lot of team shit.
Yeah. And so I think that sets the tone as it being like, of course it's a showcase and people want to come and see these artists perform and shit, but it sets the tone for it being a practice arena, you know, like you're saying, like people are going to get different things out of that because they're going to be in different stages. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be performers that have performed a lot like that already.
Right.
And then there's going to be people who have never fucking done that at all. Like, but they're capable. You know what I'm saying? Everyone is capable, but especially the lineup that we had, you know, there's no reason for you not to be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? We've seen everybody do either something similar. And if you're an artist and you're taking it serious, like, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? It's just all about what you value in the sense of, you know, that it's like that little extra step to make you better.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You could do it, or you couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's kind of
yeah, bro. I mean, and as an artist, if you have not experienced that yet, I'm telling you, the way that it feels, right? I mean, everybody in our space, we know, has already experienced that, because, you know, even looking over at Gerd, because that's what Freestyle Fridays is, right? You're rapping, there's no backtraps, and you're right. So you know the experience, but to turn that into the type of showcase of, now you're doing it for people that are really intentionally listening to you as somebody
and they paid you.
They've paid you to listen to your art and how you're going to deliver it. That really creates a hell of a show.
Yeah, tight shit. And I'll just go back to what I said in terms of the thing that makes it different from I think the main thing that makes it all different is that it was intended for that. It wasn't intended for entertainment purposes for entertainment's sake.
Right.
It was for the artists to push themselves and to perform better and to learn what that even would be like. That was the tone that was set. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, everybody can come in differently, and maybe they didn't feel like that at first, but we know that if you say things a certain way, or you say certain things, then that's just the way that it comes out anyways. And even if somebody only kind of grazed that, it still was, you know, that, you know, you have to lead people to what your intention was in the first place. So it's like, to lead people to that is very different in the sense of, for one, like we were talking about, most shows are not gonna ask you to do that in the first place. So that's number one. Number two, we already talked about it. They're not really gonna pay you out at our level. At our level, you're not really getting paid for shows, but that should be something that's damn near expected in some ways too. Like, to really like look and see what you're worth. Like, if you, like you said, if somebody were to come in here and do that 3, 4, 5 times, at the end of it, you should almost feel like you should be getting paid. And now you have to go prove it to everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, absolutely. And I think that we've seen, you know, it's a hard line to walk, right? Because even in videographer world, right, and a whole nother business that I'm operating, it's like, you know, free work pro bono work is a part of brand building. It's a part of, you know what I'm saying?
You still got to do it.
And it's almost a part of what you said, though. It's a part of showing your work, your worth. It's a part of being able to really show, right? I can walk into a business and say, hey, let me sell you a $2,000 social media package and tell them about what I'm going to make them. Or I could walk in there, shoot a 30-second video on my iPhone, which is going to take me 5 minutes. Yeah. Send it to them and say, this is what I did on my iPhone in 5 minutes. Yeah. Let me sell you a $2,000 social media package. And that's going to go a lot further. So you have to decide how much time you're willing to do for nothing, how much energy you're willing to expend for that. You know what I'm saying? How much, when it makes sense. Because I have seen people, I would say, sell themselves short in a sense of they get to a point to where they say, you know what, I feel like I deserve to be paid to perform. So now they're missing out on certain opportunities because their ego's kind of gotten a hold of that. So so make sure, you know, you seek that balance. But yes, absolutely, an artist should be seeking their value one way, one way or another. You know what I mean? Whether if it's a paid opportunity, then of course you better go soak that and you better give a hell of a fucking performance. You know what I'm saying? If it's not paid, then if figuring out how it makes sense, it better be a lot of fucking value. You know what I'm saying? If it's the other way, if it's paying for it, right? Again, I'm not going to say fuck no, even though I really want to, but it would have to make a lot of sense. You know what I'm saying?
That one has to make the most sense.
It would have to make the most sense, bro. And you know what I'm saying? And it gets really, it gets hard with me because I just don't know about fucking, you know, going into somebody else's essentially platform, you know what I mean, and trying to kind of get people that are built there. But there's times where it makes sense, you know what I mean? And I'll really say that, you know what I'm saying? I mean, when you see a festival, essentially, well, that's what that is, you know what I'm saying? It's fucking, you bring 30 people together, you bring all their fans together, and there's enough overlap, right? Those stages are strategically done. They know what they're doing. They put enough overlap in certain areas so that fans can fucking kind of overlap, and you can really perpetuate these people through the culture. So, but yeah, artists should be soaking their value and should be seeking it, you know what I'm saying, actively, and should be trying to figure out how we do it. And that's, like you said, that's what this was born out of. This was born out of, could we make something work like this? And, you know, seeing what it is, right? So, okay, this, and I'll just talk about this open air, shout out GroundWrk Live, but it makes me think of things like, okay, if that was 9 to 10 artists on a bid and it was $500, I mean, you talk about $50 an artist if it was all even, but we know it wasn't even. We know some artists are blowing out sales and some artists are not, right? But that's kind of what the research and development allows us to see on the back end. So, but it makes me think, okay, you get a bigger venue, you do 20, 30, 40, you do almost like a mini festival, you know what I'm saying? Like this, is it something that could work? Could you scale it to 10,000? And then if it's scalable to 10,000, could you find a big venue to where you could cut them in on a 20% back end, on a 30% back end and say, hey, this is the money that you're going to be able to make through this offer base. You know what I mean? So it becomes like something like, hey, could this work at a bigger level? And that's the type of thing where that's me seeking value. That's me looking at what's worked, what hasn't worked, and me saying, hey, what can work? You know what I mean? What continue? That's my inner artist, not fucking, you know, and anything else that's in there. So that's the same type of time, bro. You know, you're gonna go pay fucking $800 to open for Babytron. It better make sense. You know what I'm saying? And when you go, and if you do that, shoot me a DM and let me know if it does make sense, because most people have told me that it doesn't. You know what I'm saying? But if it works out for you and you're able to gain fans out of it, to me, it makes sense. You know what I'm saying? You can come to Freestyle Fridays and gain fans if you rap good enough, though. That's $5. That's $5. You know what I'm saying? So go soak your value as an artist. You know what I'm saying? One way or another. You know what I mean? Right? Because Freestyle Fridays is a pay-to-play situation, right? You pay $5, you go rap. You know what I'm saying? You should be soaking your value there then. If you're paying $5, I mean, I guess if your value
is open mic though too. Yeah, so it's just somewhat different in the sense of like.
Well, the value's already in like the equipment, the fucking thing, be there, right? So it's like, you're getting the space to where you could be at home, or you go into the space where it's sound equipped and ready to fucking perform. So of course that, but even then, the value as an artist, because I know like in the poetry realm, I know it's a big thing too. You know, drawing that line between like that open mic and then. Are you going to have a poet come out and deliver their art that's their fucking heartfelt fucking shit, and you're not going to pay them in any sort of way and have them, you know? So it's very interesting. It's a very interesting line to walk, you know what I mean? But we're innovating, dude, and we're pressing, and we're pushing the boundaries of that shit, you know what I'm saying? No cap.
Yeah, that's what I'll say too, is that like obviously we have to like talk generally for the most part too, but there always has to be context with what it is that we do at the same time, I feel like. And it's not something that I feel like we look in the lens of a lot of the times, because obviously, you know, we talk about general music stuff, industry stuff, show stuff. I think at this point, if you've listened to us, you know that the goal is not normal practices. The goal is to find better practices. And I just want to give that context, just because, well, me and you, we'll always talk about how you could still soak value from almost anything. So if it made sense, like you said, at a Babytron or any artist really, and you're paying to play, then go do that. But it doesn't seem like it has. People have said no. People, a select few have said yes. and with that knowledge, we go into a totally different realm. So when we talk about like what we do, that's an important distinction in that Freestyle Friday was made to be, again, practice. You know what I mean? It was made to be the gym, and it was made for people to get better. You know what I'm saying? It's not made to be entertainment for entertainment's sake, and we're not selling people on you're going to gain fans here. If we are selling anything, it's you're gonna come in here and you're gonna get better, and that's why it's worth a cup of coffee. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Very well put, my friend.
Yeah, yeah. And like I said, I don't want us. We're never gonna get on here and like get on a high horse or anything like that. But I definitely want to provide context because we don't do it very often and shit. We don't provide that context. I think part of it is we take advantage of the fact that I think anyone who listens to this in particular and anything else probably already knows us. You know what I'm saying? Like we're kind of already in that boat, and like they understand like where we're coming from. But like just to provide proper context of like and to not sell yourself short or any of us in here short of like these are not things that are, like you said, born out of following what it is that is already put into place. Like you're an artist, I'm a producer, there's creatives in here. Like this is what we feel like people need in some way, shape, or form, and not like you need it to succeed, but like that there's a void there.
Right.
So when you're thinking of paying for anything, like I guess that's also an important distinction of what is it that you're truly going in it for. You know what I mean? If you come to us, then that's what you're getting sold. If you come to somebody who wants you to open up for Babytron, you're getting sold. This is a big artist. You could get exposure. You can get this. You can get that. You know what I'm saying? So just make sure you understand what it is that comes with certain things. Even in this particular showcase sense, it's like you get to perform and you're going to get paid, but this is based off of your hustle. And you can have all the opinions that you want about, you even kind of made fun of yourself yesterday about like, I slapped this together in 7 days. I told everybody that they have 7 days. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no cap.
I told
He's not lying.
Yeah. Like it wasn't like this drawn out like thing that we put a lot of time into. It was.
Oh, you're getting to the shit I love to talk about. We talking efficiency?
It was something that was followed off of a principle that we have. It's not, and that has to be, like I said, I feel like now that has to be expressed because that's what we go off of. Like all this shit that happens in this building is based off of the same core principles. That's why there's Freestyle Friday. That's why this is open to people who can pay a $30 gym membership to utilize the resources. That's why we can throw together something like that in a week because it follows the same guidelines. Everything is still detailed, but it's a template of things. And so no matter what you think about how quickly it was done, or if you felt like you needed more time, or if you felt like any type of way, and I'm not even saying anybody does, but if somebody did, to think about what it took to get that there in 7 days and all this other extra shit, like, and this kind of is a segue into one of the things I definitely wanted to talk about, but like, you're gonna seize that opportunity or you're not. You know what I'm saying? Because the things are getting done for you. You know what I mean? Like, regardless of how you feel about whatever it was, and most people on that bill were family. You know what I'm saying? So nobody is gonna think anything other than, oh yeah, like tight, like let's get to work,
run
like,
it again.
Let's you know what I'm saying? But because everybody's gonna have an experience, it's like the hope is that you learn from things that maybe you didn't do well outside of even the performance. You know what I mean? Like, because like you said, like your opportunity was to get paid, but the trade-off was that you were going to have to go get people to pay for you.
Right.
You were going to have to tell them that I'm an artist, I'm performing, I think you should come see me. And you could either take that and do it, or you don't have to. You know what I'm saying? And that's gonna be the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what anybody tells you, like, nobody's gonna hand out more than they can give you. Like, there's not more to give in that sense. Like, but that's what we're always striving for, right? Like, we're always trying to get to that. So shout out everybody that did it and shit like that, because they took it.
Yeah, they did, like a motherfucker.
Yeah, which is good to see. But and then, so onto that topic and like the highlights, like you were saying, like, obviously everybody was tight, everybody was dope. It's one of the few showcases that I feel like I can say that every single person like brought it and like really took it seriously, and like really, and that's, I think, like I said, that's you setting the tone at the very beginning, so shout out to you. But like highlights in terms of just like even outside of the performance part, because the performance, everybody basically performed really dope, especially if you've never like done the backtracks before. Like, that's not an easy thing to do, and it's not something that everybody is used to at this point in the music industry portion of it. So even outside of that, like, shout out Chaos the Rapper, because we don't even have to say like what he got, but he was the high man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
High earner with not the most amount of tickets sold.
Right.
So interesting dynamics. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's some really interesting shit. But you know, that fool fucking, I seen him 4 years ago at fucking Freestyle Fridays. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So seeing, you know, everything else aside, just the musical growth, just what he does with his music and just how he holds himself and how he goes, bro. Shout out to you, bro. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Absolutely fucking nuts. You know what I'm saying? Undeniable. Yeah. And I think that's what, as an artist, that's what you want to get to. You know what I'm saying? You want to be undeniable. You want to be able to grab a microphone, no matter where you're at, who's in the room, and you're undeniable. You know what I'm saying? Eloy Gino called him up there and gave him that microphone, and without skipping a fucking bar,
this motherfucker,
he grabbed it and chewed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shut down the room. Yeah. Shut down the room, and then had his set later. You know what I'm saying?
That was the ultimate, and that's like the ultimate thing of opportunity of what I'm talking about in terms of like, that's somebody who has consistently grabbed the opportunity. Anytime that he's been called upon by us, at least, I don't know about none of you other motherfuckers, but anytime that I or you have called upon him to either better himself or help us out or do both at the same time, he ain't never hesitated, not once. He took every opportunity that he could get and
ran with it like a motherfucker Heisman. Like, you know what I'm talking about?
Like you said, Freestyle Fridays, and this was no different. You know, he brought it. He was willing to do it in the first place, and he killed it, just like he always does. But
hey, real quick, we're still rolling. I'm gonna go crack the door. There's a gym member here, real quick.
Oh, tight. But yeah, while he goes and cracks the door, bro, like, shout out Chaos the Rapper. I just wanted to make sure to shout him out, just because we have the conversations after the fact, but he was doing dope shit. Like you said, he was one of the first people at Freestyle Fridays. He was on a Freestyle Friday cypher. We've had him for GroundWrk stuff. He came and did the performance probably without skipping a beat. Probably didn't hesitate at all with you when you asked him. And
nope, sure didn't. Didn't hesitate.
Like you said, bro gave him the mic and he fucking just took it. But you know, not everybody does that, which goes back to my point of like, you know, people can only give you so much. You have to do exactly what he does, which is when the opportunities present themselves, you have to just do it. You know what I mean? And you have to like...
Yeah, dude. Hey, you know what? I'm going to take that and I'm going to take it even one step, because, you know, it's so cool we can talk about these things in open air because, right, sometimes there are opportunities brought to you, right? Yeah. And shout out my brother X James, because he said opportunity ain't never been no open door. And I will say that we didn't just present an opportunity to Chaos. The reason he got that phone call from me at all, same reason that everybody got a phone call on that list, was because I see them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I see what's going on, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, but Monarski, I'm so sorry, Ski. You know what I'm saying? My dog, Ski. You know what I'm saying? But bro tapped in with me after he saw the flyer and was like, yo, I'm trying to get on there.
Right.
Now I know Ski through Flip and through the Kuya camp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, he'd been around. I seen him years ago. Freestyle Fridays as well. You know what I'm saying? So, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? The fact that he even messaged me was enough for me to be like, okay. You know what I mean? Yeah, let's get you on there. You know what I'm saying? And fucking, bro ended up, you know what I mean? Another trophy. You know what I'm saying? Bro ended up being top ticket salesman.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And sold the most, sold the most amount of actual tickets of people to the space.
Yeah.
So not only did he go and actively seek and find the opportunity, but then he grabbed it and capitalized it like a motherfucker. You know what I mean? And turned it up and performed his songs and went up. So shout out Ski. You know what I'm saying? And shout out artists that are out there with capitalizing. And again, shout out every artist on the bid, because literally we could pull up the fucking thing. You know what I mean? I could really start talking like,
and really
Kuya Flip. Fuck it, I'm gonna just do it real quick. Kuya Flip went absolutely fucking nuts. You know what I'm saying?
Nuts,
because when you hear him tap into that emotional bag, it's just different. You know what I mean? And then it was so cool in this setting because then Deuce put on that beat and he started freestyling, and we got to hear some of the fun, ignorant shit. You know what I mean? And the crowd got to experience that, and so the crowd got to experience both sides of Kuya Flip. You know what I'm saying? All sides, not just both. Yeah, exactly, all of it. You know what I'm saying? Kind of together. So you know, you have Money Man singing in songs that normally in the booth he has auto-tune.
Yeah.
And he's in front of a crowd of fucking 40 people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Singing that shit, singing his heart out. You know what I'm saying? Shout out fucking Money. And then turn on the rap bars and just start chewing. You know what I mean? Like a motherfucker, bro. Shout out Gino. We was already talking about Gino and the fucking type of time he was on. You know what I mean? I'll selfish plug myself, bro. I went fucking crazy. The energy in the room was undeniable. You know what I'm saying? No motherfucking cap, bro. I know them. Okay, Cash, the young bull. You know what I'm saying? Cash, the young bull, bro. If he got a trophy, it's most improved. You know what I'm saying? Because when he was at fucking Freestyle Fridays and shit and coming through these other ones, he's been workshopping his verses, trying to get them down. He really gave the people a show yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Really held himself as an actual artist. You know what I'm saying? Like, that shit was tight as fuck, man. You know what I'm saying? Ray. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, shout out Ray Zell, man. You know what I'm saying? That boy Ray Zell, though, but for real, because we already know the type of time he's a singer rapper. He a real R&B stuff, you know what I mean? So it take a lot. When I tell a rapper no backtracks, that's one thing. You tell a singer, you got to come out and sing, that's a lot. Especially with, you know, I know our speakers are no means cheap, but they're not a fucking full fucking auditorium sound system that's going to have just the best dynamic vocal range or whatever the fuck that you need, you know what I'm saying? So, but again, killed it like a motherfucker, you know what I'm saying? Sav Diddy. Bro, there was at one point for fucking Pink Camo Dreams, I think. Was it Pink Camo Dreams? And everybody turned the fuck up. Oh my God. You know what I mean? Energy went fucking nuts. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely no. I think that was everybody. On my life. That was everybody, bro. That was everybody. You know what I'm saying? We just literally listed everybody.
Sav Diddy, Ray Sale, Cash, Ski,
Chaos,
Kuya,
Money Man, me,
Gino, you.
Yeah, that's everybody, bro. Everybody went fucking nuts.
Yeah, tight, bro.
Undeniable.
I'll say with Sav, that was the first time she ever performed with no backtracks. Tight shit. So that was one of the things I was gonna say too.
You know what I'm saying?
Fire shit.
Whole lot of fire shit,
And
man.
then I'm just gonna say this on the mic because I'm gonna say it every time now because I want him to hear it almost every single time. But when we bring up Gino, and just like I'm always gonna tell him to his face, and I just got done telling him, when you can be somebody that is seasoned in certain things that other people are not, and they can see you doing that, that gives a whole another level of like respect, you know,
and understanding.
Because we can say all this shit till we're blue in the face, you know what I'm saying? And you are in the same light, especially now because you've worked hard the last 3 months to like really be able to do what you did yesterday.
Right.
So you're in the same boat, but we know that, you know, business owner, cameraman, you know, you hold a lot of those types of hats. That dude is the artist, and he's been doing the shows and anything that we've said and he's been on board with, just like with you. He can really show you what has worked, and he could on accident show you, you know.
Absolutely.
What I'm saying? And
so he can show you by doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he fucking, you know, I think Deuce is the one who said it, but you know, he was at home immediately because that's just how seasoned he is. And like, hopefully that's something that, and I know it already is because I talk to people that I talk to, and they're like, and I can just hear the respect for bro immediately without, I don't prompt any of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, people can just see what it is that he's doing and respect the hell out of it. So you know, shout out, bro, for basically just being himself. But you know, people need that. You know, Chaos was talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Like when you see people who are already at the level that maybe you want to achieve. You know what I'm saying? Like even it's something as simple as mic presence and walking around and fucking getting people involved and talking to people in between your shit and stuff like that. Like that goes a long way. So, you know, shout out, bro, for basically just showing out every time he asks you, you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah, you know, shout out, you know, at one point, you know, we got to give him most fun freestyle trick of the night. What he did was somebody was bobbing their hands so hard to the song, they slapped the little hanging lights and he grabbed it as it fell and he just held it up. And just rapped still. He just kept his shit going and just held it here for like 20 seconds. I had to walk up and like hook it up, and then he let it down, and then he finished his song, and then he said, shout out me being tall. And then he got into his next song. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, bro, shout out, you know, bro, seasoned individual and somebody that the artist in the space could definitely look at and be like, okay, those, even just again, without even talking to him, you can see things that worked. You know what I'm saying? And be like, okay, very tight, very tight. Yeah, man, shout out the movement.
Yeah, shout out all the performers and shit.
Well, that was a disgusting cough. Excuse me. Wow. This is for the losers and a fat kid with no bitches. This is for the loser friend always talking, but they don't listen. That was me. I was you. We is no different. Promise keep your head down, work hard. It all switches. GroundWrk Live episode 8. Brother, you got anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think that pretty much covers our GroundWrk Live today, man.
Yeah, well, hey, man, 7 days a week. I'm going to stool them on my feet because I'm really trying to think because I know we on the brink. Back to work. Clogging on my sheet, the rustling hip, and my AirPods on repeat. I like my shit nice and neat. Hey, look, man, April 21st, you know what I'm saying? I'm dropping Big Boss Slots, a very, very important project to us, you know what I'm saying? Some fucking very tight-ass tracks on there, so pay what you want. The link's already in my bio. You can go get notified, hit the little button, go get ready to download that shit, you know what I'm saying? So, $1 to 10,000. It's at Big Boss Sloth.
Fire. On
my life. GroundWrk episode 8. I had to finish it with the self-plug, you know what I'm saying? This is CSSB, this is the movement, this is the Zoo Room. Shout out to ZooCast, shout out CSSB. You know what? Shout out motherfucking everybody that's fucking hearing my motherfucking voice right now and tuned into any of these motherfucking shows, you know what I'm saying? On my life.
True. Hell yeah. GroundWrk Live.
Episode 8, we out, baby. Yee! Grody, take us out.